Young and Restless spoilers November 5. Billy has to eat his hat, or his words. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, November 5, have a reason to celebrate. Billy is going to apologize. At least Billy is going to offer his version of an apology. Who will be the lucky recipient? Billy, Jason Thompson, felt confident that if push came to shove, his mommy would side with her precious baby boy over the woman Jess Walton, actually appointed to run her company. Whoops, Jill went with Lily, Crystal Kahlo, the same Lily that Billy fired earlier. Now, in order to hold off the takeover attempt by Victor, Eric Braden, Billy needs more allies than he currently has. This means going to Lily, hat in hand, and possibly even giving it a nice big bite. But this isn't the Lily Billy remembers dating. She is done being taken for granted and or used as a doorman. We expect her to make him grovel, which Billy desperately needs to do. Regularly, Amy, Valerie Pettiford, told Nate, seen Dominic, that he had an older brother whom Amy never told Nate's dad about. His name is Damien, and he's kind of a lost soul. Amy is dying, and she wants Nate to commit to tracking down this total stranger and keeping an eye on him once Amy can't. Nate said he needed to think about it. Now he's thought about it and come up with an answer. Does anyone honestly think we'd have met Amy if Nate hadn't been meant to go looking for Damien? So yeah, that's what happens. Hey, remember that Alan, Christopher Cousins, moved into the Abbott house? Remember his burgeoning relationship with Tracy, Beth Maitland? That's all been happening off camera. Now it's on camera because Tracy has a surprise for her new love. As the day's hours waned, Billy stood in front of the camera at Chancellor Park, surrounded by a crowd that included press, curious onlookers, and a few supportive friends. Lily Winters was among them, her eyes searching his face for signs of his usual defiance. But today, Billy's expression was different, somber, resigned, but still defiant in the tilt of his jaw. I made a statement a week ago that Newman Media's investments were unsustainable. Billy began, his voice steady, echoing off the autumn leaves rustling in the breeze. I was wrong. I underestimated the very forces that have kept this town on edge for decades. He glanced at Victor, who stood in the distance, arms folded and eyes gleaming with satisfaction. And while I'm not in the habit of admitting defeat, here it is. I was wrong. Victor Newman, you played your hand well. A wave of whispers swept through the crowd. To the casual observer, this was just another power struggle between two of Genoa City's titans. But to those who knew the players involved, this moment marked a deeper shift. Billy, for all his pride and fire, had finally learned that in the realm of the Newmans, hubris could cost more than just reputation. It could cost everything. November 5th in asterisk, The Young and the Restless asterisk promises to deliver a whirlwind of tension, regret, and unanticipated truths that will leave Genoa City teetering on the edge of chaos. At the heart of it all stands Billy Abbott, a man renowned for his fierce independence and propensity for acting before thinking. But on this day, his sharp tongue and impulsive nature are about to make him pay the price in the most public way possible. ###, the fallout of Billy's bet. Billy Abbott, still reeling from a series of bruising encounters with Victor Newman, decided he'd had enough. The last straw came during a heated debate at Society, where Victor laid down a challenge, one designed to cut through Billy's bravado. Victor, with his sly smirk and unyielding confidence, dared Billy to back up his claims that Newman Media's recent investment would collapse under pressure. If Billy's bold prediction turned out to be wrong, he promised, in front of Victoria and several stunned onlookers, to publicly recant his words. Mark my words, this will end in flames, Billy had declared, glass raised and eyes fierce. The crowd buzzed with murmurs as Victor leaned back, nodding ever so slightly, the look in his eyes one of quiet, calculated victory. Victoria had shifted uncomfortably in her seat, caught between her loyalty to the Newman empire and her lingering empathy for Billy, the father of her children. But now, on November 5th, the pieces were falling into place. Newman Media's risky venture had not only stabilized but flourished, a testament to Victor's relentless vision and ruthless business acumen. It was time for Billy to eat his words, if not his hat. #### Abby's shifting allegiances. While Billy grappled with the looming fallout, Abby Newman Abbott faced a challenge of her own. Abby had grown weary of the tension between her husband, Chance, and her own family. The recent upswing in Newman Media's success had intensified the pressure on Chance.com, the media company Billy once managed with razor-sharp instincts and a penchant for trouble. Abby was now stuck in the middle, struggling to keep her husband from feeling alienated while maintaining her fragile alliance with the Newmans. This day, Abby met with Billy at Crimson Lights, where the aroma of fresh pastries seemed almost mocking in its simplicity compared to the storm brewing around them. "You know, I thought I'd be happy seeing Victor put in his place," Abby said, twirling her coffee stirrer absent-mindedly. "But watching you get dragged like this, it doesn't feel right." Billy chuckled, a dark, hollow sound. "Oh, don't worry about me, Abby. It's not the first time I've lost to Victor, and it won't be the last. But what I can't stomach is how smug he'll be." Abby sighed. "Sometimes I wonder if all this back and forth is worth it. Why can't we just get along?" Billy interjected. "Because peace is not in Victor's vocabulary, and I'm not one to back down from a fight." Their conversation was interrupted by a text on Abby's phone, a picture of Dominic, her son, giggling with his nanny. Abby's face softened for a moment before hardening again. Family was at the core of her worries, and in Geno City, even familial ties were fraught with power plays and betrayal. #### Victor's inevitable triumph. Victor Newman spent the morning in his office at Newman Enterprises, the view from his towering window a panoramic scene of a city that moved at his command. He reveled in the silent satisfaction of his victory over Billy. This was more than just business. It was a game of legacy, and Victor always played to win. He picked up the phone and dialed his assistant. "Scheduled a press conference for this afternoon. I want it clear to everyone in this town who holds the reins." The call was barely over when Victoria walked in, a mix of admiration and apprehension in her eyes. She had always respected her father's strategic mind, but seeing Billy on the receiving end of yet another public defeat tugged at her in unexpected ways. "Father," she started, choosing her words carefully. "Do you really have to make this a spectacle?" Victor's eyes narrowed. "This isn't just about Billy Victoria. This is about the Newman name, our strength, our unity. If Billy Abbott wants to challenge that, he'll learn the cost. ###, the public apology."